Well, hello there. Welcome to the Conscious Spirit podcast. I'm Nathan, and this is your Thursday messaging. Yes, so in a moment, I'm going to show three cards. And what I want you to do is look at those cards and see which one resonates with you, which one you're drawn to. And then I will give you some messaging. But before that, please like, subscribe, ring that notification bell, and yeah, if you please leave some comments. I love your comments. It really helps the channel and it helps me to progress. If you want a private reading by myself, go to our website channel, which is tcseverydaypsychics.com, and you can leave a message and I can give you a reading. Obviously you would have to pay for that, I'm afraid. We also do other forms of healing. We do some spiritual healing. We also do clearings. So if you have anything that goes bump in the night and you need us to clear that for you, we will do that. That is free of charge. But you please go to the website and write what your needs are, and we'll get back to you. No matter how big, how small, we'll always reply. So I think let's get on with the messages. So without any further ado, here are your three cards. And remember, pick the one that resonates with you. I Group A. So the card you chose was, oh, just let you know, this oracle deck is fantastic. It is the Myth Oracle, a transcendent archetype deck. Got it the other day. I've also ordered the tarot cards. Absolutely amazing. But this card this week for you was stability. Let's see now. Now, to me, when this card calls for stability, I feel the message is quite clear. And it's telling me to cultivate a steady foundation from which arises growth, insight, and that creative energy so you can flourish. Remember, stability is not stagnation. It's the deliberate alignment of your inner world with your outer environment so that the momentum can build safely. So with this week, I'm going to choose some rune cards, and this will help improve the message. So let's see what we get. Okay, first card we have Arcana. Apologies if I say the words wrong. I should know them by now. But Arcana and Thurizaz. There's probably a silent word there. Okay, so if we put all these two together, what are we getting? Let's have a look. Well, and these two runes will offer the complementary energies to the message of stability. So I'll use these together to help ground, protect, and gently push through the barriers. So let's see, Birkenine, let's have a look. So I was just moving something up. Arcana is about growth through steady solidity. It means growth, renewal. It's new life. Bacana is about birth. I'm just reading on here. General fertility. Fertility. Oh my God, I couldn't say it then. And both mental and physical and personal growth. Also know that it's about a community and family and the early stages of developments. That could be early stages of like the birth or toddler or something young, or the early stages of building a company, the early stage of growth through there. And also it is a stable roots-based expansion. So if you think that growth is the roots from which we start to grow from, that we lay that foundation. Now, in the context of stability this week, I think Bacana reminds you that true stability grows from those healthy roots. So it's very important in nurturing your foundation, meaning your habits, your relationships, and the spaces around you. Because it's very important. It's so that you can unfold and expand in that sustainable way, rather. So if I had to put this into practical applications for this week, I think it's important that you establish a daily routine that supports your long-term goals. So, secondly, revisit and strengthen a core relationship or community around you that will help you provide support. 3, create a small and tangible target this week that you can tend to it like a seed of a plant. So basically that target, you're going to help it grow. You're going to help it watch it grow over the time. Remember, when you feel off balance, return to your roots, rebuild from the ground up, and be patient and be consistent with that action and that growth. Because remember, not everything, we'll start something and think, oh, it's fabulous, and suddenly, boom, bang, bang. Everything buggers up. So what you have to do is don't stop, return back to the roots, turn back to the foundation, start again. There's a phrase, never give up. Never give up. Okay, so with stability, there is this card. So it's about protection and boundary clarity. This card is about protection, danger, reactive energy, thresholds, and the ability to defend what you value. What else is on here? It's a force of destruction and defense, conflict, instinctual will, vital eroticism, a tendency towards change. Oh, okay. Reactive force. So that reactive force doesn't mean it could be negative or doom and gloom. That reactive force of change can be very positive. So in the context of stability, this card, I feel, helps, if we got the stability, we had it as a foundation. I feel this card, this rune card, helps you set out clear boundaries. And this rune acts as a guardian when enticements or chaos threaten your stability, threaten your foundation. It's a reminder that sometimes stability requires saying no and creating a protective space around you or ahead of you. Remember that. If your foundation is being threatened, it's a reminder that sometimes stability requires saying no. So we need to put this into practical applications. How we do this? Let's think. So I think one, we talked about the boundaries foundation. Identify one boundary you need to reinforce. Okay, and that could be things like time, space around you, energy, commitments. And it's important you implement a concrete boundary strategy this week to help you achieve that. 2, use a pause or safety check before taking actions that could destabilize your routine. 3, protect your plans from external disruptions. So by creating backup buffers, so extra time, alternative options, protect your plans. So have a backup. And remember, stability isn't rigidness. To me, it feels the intentional guardrail that keeps you on course. So use this rune to ward off distractions that would erode your foundation. So if we put all that into a message for this week, it feels that the combined message of the stability card and these 2 runes, it's about stable growth with healthy boundaries. So we start with Rakana, plant a small, sustainable change in your life to strengthen those roots. Then apply the next rune into your daily life by protecting your progress. And to do that, you need to set clear boundaries. And pausing. Remember to pause. And I always say, how can I do that? What I'm trying to say is pause before diving into risky or destabilizing actions. So setting those clear boundaries and then pause and then go. Because, and a way to sort of go, how can I do that? Breathe in, breathe out. That's the pause. And it helps you then think clearer. It helps you then get a bit of clarity before you dive in. Because so many of us can be very, we act now, think later, or you need to think before you act. So if you're protecting your progress by setting clear boundaries, remember to pause before diving into those risky actions. And then iterate with each small cycle. Your capacity will grow, your foundation will deepen, and your capacity to handle larger growth will increase. And you'll be able to do more. So just to finish off, remember, stability begins with trust in the roots. The trust in the roots I've already planted. Remember to nurture daily habits and the communities that support you, allowing for that steady growth to unfold. Remember to guard your time and energy, setting clear boundaries to protect what you're building. And don't forget, each small, consistent step reinforces the ground beneath you, inviting resilience and calm as you move forward. I hope that made sense this week, and I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Hi, Group V. How are you? Welcome, welcome. You chose the fire card. Ooh, I'm on fire, baby. If you're interested in this card, these are a fantastic Oracle deck. It's the Myth Oracle, translation, Transcendent Archetypes. Fantastic. I bought this the other day. I'm also going to get the Tower because it's just amazing, and I'll probably show you this. But yes, these cards, they sing out to me. I can't explain. They're just so beautiful. So here we have this week, the Fire card. And so this week, when you get this card, it feels, well, it highlights, obviously, fire. And I feel the message is about, well, to me, it might be different for you, but it feels to me that it's about ignition. It's about passion. And the clarifying energy of action. You remember I used to associate fire with Aries, and Aries was about action. He was, and his color was red. His how he came across and fire. Always reminds me of Aries. So I feel the fire calls you to warm what is dormant, asleep, transforming through focused intention and channeling that enthusiasm into constructive movement. I feel fire is a nudge to let your inner spark guide you towards that purposeful progress while studying or while staying mindful of the direction and impact it is taking. I like the sound of the fire it's in the belly, it's igniting the little flame in your gut. Oh, what's happening? Oh, I need to be doing something. Oh, it's that start of the action. Oh, let's go. Okay, so with this card, fire, I'm going to choose 2 rune cards, and that will help in what that would do is it'll help add to the story, add to your messaging. Okay, so let's see what we can get. Okay, we've got Ethwaz. I apologize if I have said these all wrong. And Othala. So these 2 runes offer complementary energies to support your message of purposeful action and grounded heritage. So remember, use them together to move with the momentum, honoring the roots and lineage. So let's start with this one. Ethwaz, horse. What does it mean? Well, it's about partnership. It's about momentum and smooth transfer. Let's see what it says on here. Transportation may represent a horse, car, plane, boat, or other vehicle. Maybe you're going to go traveling. Maybe you're going to go away. Movement and change for the better. So it's smooth transfer, to get from one country to the other, you need to get a plane. That's smooth transfer to get to the other country. So also, I feel, it's about partnership. It's about trust. It's about that movement being harmonious. And it's about cooperation and ensuring that progression is reliable. So in the context of fire, let's have a look. Well, this rune, feels it encourages you to move with a cooperative flow. So that by saying cooperative flow, that's very important, because then it's enabling you to work with others, align your actions maybe with a trusted ally by keeping the momentum steady rather than reckless. Remember, it's the fuel that makes forward motion feel natural and sustainable. Remember that. So I'm going to give you a couple of practical applications with this rune. So let's think. So number 1, identify a partner or ally who can help you advance a project or a goal, can help you start up that spark of that fiery in your belly. 2, why don't you create a small actionable sequence of steps you can take with collaboration, even it's with your future self, like planning, scheduling, and committing. 3, why don't you ensure your actions are in sync with your values and long-term aims? Quite deep practical applications, but I think they have some meat around them that will help you progress. Remember, fire fueled by this it's rude. God, I can't get it. I can't speak today. Is purposeful action. Remember, that travels with support and clear agreement. It avoids burnout. Remember, it avoids burnout by maintaining that steady, coordinated pace. So rather going in, as I said to another room, to now, rushing it in, thinking later. It's all about a steady grow, a steady burn. It's that thinking phase before you suddenly going in and act and boom, explodes. Okay, our next one is Orthala. Horse, house, heritage. Also, it's about ancestral grounding and inheritance, inherited property or possessions. So the core meaning of this, it's a house or a home. The other one's a horse. Apologies. So inherited property or possession, a house, a home. What is truly important to one? Group order, group prosperity. I remember it as heritage possessions, ancestral lands or lineage, ancestral home, and a sense of belonging and safety they provide. So in the context of the fire card this week, Orthala, this rune, June, I'll keep wanting to say June this week. This rune feels like it grounds your fiery energy in something lasting. So it's not just that little sparkle. This fire is going to last. This rune helps that fire to last. I feel it also reminds you to consider legacy, resources, and the responsibilities of what you're building. Fire needs a sturdy shelter. No good building a fire and suddenly it rains and it goes out. You may need a shelter of that fire. So this rune ensures your flame is directed towards something enduring and meaningful. It really helps. So what about practical applications? Well, one, why don't you reflect on a personal or family value that you want to carry forward in your current pursuit? Two, how about checking resources and boundaries? What do you truly own or have access to? And how can you steward it wisely? Three, why don't you create a small, tangible link to your heritage or core values, a ritual or keepsake, a commitment that reinforces your drive forward? How about, that heritage, finding out who your great-great-great-great-grandfather is, or, going right back centuries. Interesting. It's always information we can find out. So fire with Orthala is luminous energy. Feels like luminous energy, and it's guarded by rooted security. I feel this rune, it prevents impulsive driven actions. It helps you be anchored. It helps you anchor you in what you care about most deeply, so you get the best out of it. So we combine these two runes together with the fire. So if we can begin with Izuaz, it invites collaboration and maintaining a steady, harmonious pace as you begin to act on that fiery impulse. And then Orthala, you apply this, it infuses your action with your meaning by aligning it to your values, your lineage, or your long-term safeguards. Remember to circle between the engaged action and grounded reflection to keep that momentum sustainable and aligned with you that truly matters. It's important that your fire is sparked by a clear message and inspired by those beside you. You move forward with your trusted partners, letting your shared momentum carry you towards that meaningful outcome. So don't forget to honor your roots and the resources you've inherited. Direct your energy towards what sustains and protects what you value most. And with that fierce clarity and grounded intention, why don't you transform potential into the realized progress? Well, I hope Group B, you enjoyed this week's message, quite deep there. And I look forward to seeing you next week. Take care. Hi, Group C. How are you? Welcome, welcome. Oh, well, you chose the Obscura card. Oh, what does that mean? Oh, Obscura. Now, if you're interested in these cards, these amazing cards, I've just recently bought them, and I got them through the Myth Oracle cards. Amazing. And I've also bought the tarot, so I'm waiting for it to come in. I resonate with these cards 100%. Amazing. So, what does Obscura tell us? Well, reveal Obscura. What are you showing? Well, the message, I think Obscura, centers on mystery, hidden potentials, and turning darkness or uncertainty into light and into insight. I feel this card invites you to embrace what isn't yet visible. If you look at his hand, he's about to create some light there. It's about embracing what isn't visible, trusting your process, trusting the process, and seek clarity through introspection, discernment, and patient unveiling. I feel Obscura asks you to work with what remains unseen, and this eventually will illuminate your path forward. So I'm going to choose some runes. I hope I say this in the other group. I kept going, June, no, runes. I have to remember. So we've got some rune cards, and we're going to choose 2 runes to help support the message. What strength, what support can it give to the Obscura? Okay, got 2 cards here. Now these 2 runes with Perthu and Runju. Apologies if I say those wrong, but now these 2 runes offer complementary energies to support our message of navigating the unseen and the hopeful and the communal resonance. So it's using them together to uncover hidden patterns and to help cultivate that joyful, meaningful balance. So Perthru, what's it about? Well, it's about, this is quite interesting, because Perthu is, it says on the card, and I'll go through what I feel it is. And this goes very well with the Obscura, because the Obscura, we're trying to illuminate our path. Perthu, uncertain meaning, a secret matter. That's what I'm reading on here. A mystery, hidden things, and occult abilities. Initiation, knowledge of one's destiny, knowledge of future matters, determining the future of your own path. And I find it so uncanny with choosing that, and then we got this. It just really enforces part of this message. So, taking those things around, I think the core meaning of this room is the unknown possibilities, secrets, and the turning of unseen factors, obviously in your favor. So Perthro invites you to lean into that uncertainty as a sense of potential. For this rune, it suggests that answers may emerge through patience, experimentation, and willingness to explore what isn't obvious yet. The mystery, exploring. I always think very much is to be curious. Curiosity killed the cat. And that's what this Obscura is telling us. So, how can we put this into practical terms this week? Well, why don't you list one area where you feel uncertain and commit to a small exploratory step? You could do that either through research, an inquiry, or trying a low stake approach. So take one step, one area where you feel uncertain and an exploratory step to it. So it's delving into the mystery of your uncertain area. It's exploring. It's being more curious about how to make it grow, how to make it bigger, how to put some oomph into it. 2, why don't you keep a curiosity mindset? What patterns emerge when you observe rather than push for immediate outcomes? And how about number 3? Why don't you track intuition and subtle data? So journaling through dreams, gut feelings. Why don't you write it down for a week and note any connections? So this June, this rune this week is about embracing the unknown as a fertile ground for insight. Pethro turns the hidden into a seed that can sprout with careful treading. Remember, it's growth, and it's being that curious about how to grow, how to make it bigger. So next rune is the Wunjo, the joy. Joy, harmony, positive social energy. What is on the card? Joy, comfort, pleasure, fellowship, harmony, prosperity, ecstasy, glory, spiritual reward, but also the possibility of going over the top. There's a little bit of but there. So in the context of Obscura, this rune reminds you that illumination through obscurity is often enhanced by supportive connection. Remember, shared optimism and communal encouragement, it can reveal what was hidden and make the journey lighter. So when you make those connections with other people, that fellowship, it'll make you less stressed. It'll make you bring you down. It will make you feel lighter. It'll make the journey is not as horrific as I thought it is. I've got someone to help me. 2 minds are better than 1. So let's put that into a practical application. So why don't you seek a supportive friend or mentor or group to explore the unknown with you? I do. Each week I belong to these fabulous ladies, and we explore the unknown. We explore our spiritual side. We explore our inner beings so that we can grow, so that we can become better. 2, why don't you introduce a small ritual celebration round the process of motivation? So introduce a small celebration around the process of sustaining motivation, getting up, getting around, something that make you, here we go. You might go, okay, number 2 could be about, you know what, when I'm going to listen to music, I'm going to move around. Joy is making you feel happy. Doing the hoovering, doing the cleaning, put some loud music on and dance while you're doing it, because the enjoyment will all come from that. It'll make you happy. It will ensure that that task will get done really quickly. And you probably already do it already. Some of you probably don't. You hate, oh, I've got to do the clean, oh, I've got to wash it up, oh, I've got to do this. Put some music on, enjoy the moment. And 3, when you uncover new information, how about sharing it with someone you trust to gain that perspective and reinforce clarity? Remember, it's, some information divulging. It's good that somebody else enjoys you enjoying that information too. So about this message this week, it's about let the mystery be tempered by communal joy. It's not just about you, it's about your joy and somebody else's joy together. It's about discovery. It's about discovering becomes a trend, a shared uplifting experience. So we need to put these all together this week and with Obscuria. So through lean into mystery, set a low stakes inquiry and track subtle signals through dreams. The Wunjo, bringing companionship or a light-hearted approach to the process to sustain that momentum and meaning. For example, we said about the dreams, it's discussing your dreams together, discussing the meditation you just had. Obviously not the meditation together, but I know Fred's Meds is a very good example. It says at the end of the meditation is to write down any experiences you have. Well, why don't you discuss that special time with a close friend? And that will bring so much joy and so much happiness and so much growth. So this week, in the quiet of what's not yet clear, you need to trust the process of uncovering the truth. You need to lean into curiosity. And by doing that, you'll be inviting small experiments that reveal patterns you couldn't see before. Welcome joy, welcome and support from those who walk with you. Sharing and letting those shared insights brighten that path ahead. What was hidden will then begin to shimmer, and it will show the meaning. And as you move forward with patience and confidence, you will become a bigger, better person. Well, that's quite deep this week. I hope you enjoyed that. And I hope you like the messaging. And I hope you join me next week after, for more messaging. Take care.